Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the closing bell here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Here to wrap up what was an exciting week this week. Yes, we had what looked to be some bearish activity coming to fruition. As you can see, though, the market indices, especially in the large cap segment, bounced back very nicely towards the end of the day. As a matter of fact, by the end of the session, you had the Dow Jones up 11 at 20,821. The NASDAQ finished up at 5210. I'm looking at the NASDAQ 100 up 10. The Russell 2000, the only indice that couldn't get into the green for the day, but still had a good week, up down $1 at 1386. The S&P 500, the S&P cash, did get into the green. So we actually saw where we thought maybe the S&P 500 was going to finish in the red for the first time this fiscal year. Well, guess what? It didn't. It actually finished up on the day, and we saw it up almost 1% for the week. You did see volatility come off pretty precipitously. We saw VIX up at 1188 earlier today. It came off and was down 24 cents. So some of that fear premium did come out of the volatility index, and specifically we could have anticipated that with the move and the strength from the rebound in the SPX, which is what the VIX tracks. But we did not see a big enough bounce in telecom. We talked about this in Tech Talk, but we're going to see that there's some major conferences next week for the telecommunications sector. There are going to be a lot of these big names that are represented in this telecom ETF IYZ are going to be speaking at the Morgan Stanley conference. That could bring some headlines out. We saw bonds on the move, and the bid held very strong in bonds. Finished the day, TLT up 1.2, up 137 to 122.04. Very interesting action here. I think the biggest catalysts there were because of the discussions that are coming out of Washington. The GOP border tax adjustment does not jibe with what the Trump administration really is envisioning. That gave a rebound to retail, but it also gave some uncertainty on whether or not fiscal policy is actually going to be moving at the pace that the president is signing these executive orders. We also saw some uncertainty about when the actual infrastructure packages are starting to be implemented. It now looks like and sounds like from some headlines that the discussion is more of 2018 when we could see those projects actually get some physical, tangible types of plans in place. What is being discussed is tax reform and healthcare. Those have to get resolved. We saw that the tax reform, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more difficult than what was anticipated. That put a little pressure initially on financials. And you can see that here where the financials, XLF, finished the day down 18 cents at 24.43. As a matter of fact, in Strategy Now, we were talking about poor man covered calls where we were using longer term options deeper in the money, selling front month options against that to offset our premium purchase there. We did one in Goldman Sachs as an example. It was down about 3 and some change today. That sector is under pressure, but of course this is a sector that's been performing unbelievably well. As a matter of fact, if we actually jump into the charts, you can take a look here as the spiders did finish the week in the positive territory. But if you actually, again, look at the the finance sector, it finished down today, still well above its 20, 50, and 200-day moving averages. Next support level is right around 2250. You could actually see the consolidation right around here, 23. Any type of pullback is going to look at as an opportunity, especially if we get into this $23, $22.50 level and hold. This is going to be significant. One other notable piece of information. There's been a lot of discussion about interest rates. We mentioned that bonds, the prices really popped up. As we said, TLT up $1 and some change. And the bond yields, 10-year yield now down at 2.31%. What's notable is that there was a lot of discussion earlier week that because of all the economic data, because of all of the both here domestically and internationally looking positive, that another rate hike could actually occur in March. Well, there's still a 77.9% probability that we could have a move, at least up to 75 basis points. That has not dissipated, but there was some interesting commentary about the fact that there seems to be amongst Fed governors, a sense of dislocation with the uncertainty that people are starting to sense about when policies are going to be in place and stimulus and so forth and growth and the rate of growth in which people are anticipating. Maybe market enthusiasts overshot a little bit on their timing. Volatility is not in this market, and there are a lot of Fed governors that are concerned about the fact that they're seeing historically very low volatility. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the VIX on a chart, as I said, it went out today, and I'm going to scroll down. It went out today right there on its lows. We get into this $11 range, you're going to start to see lows that we haven't seen in almost a decade on the VIX contract. We've seen 9, 10, but it's been a long time since we've seen volatility. And again, not seeing the pace. And if we don't get that rate hike, there's going to be some questions, maybe some trimming of profits. That's why we also saw a pretty significant move in XLU. As a matter of fact, that move has been something that has been sustained for the last basically session or so, but you can see today the utilities, which is typically a safe haven type of area, it held its 50, bounced off its 20-day a couple days ago, held its 50-day, and now has bounced up significantly. We could see a rotation of some money into utilities because they don't want to put it in bonds and they don't want to put it in stocks right now, at least not stocks that aren't going to have a high dividend payment or some sort of offset between now and maybe the next month or two when we could see some volatility. These stocks that are in the utility sector are starting to get some looks. That's where you could do some homework this weekend. All right, folks, that's it for the closing bell right now. Join us this weekend on Sunday. We will be doing Sunday night setups. You can check that out on MarketStream.live. And of course, we will be back bright and early Monday morning at 8:30 Eastern time. We will kick it all off with the overnight action report on Asia. All right. And also, folks, take the weekend. Check out the Premium Toolbox. There's a free 2-day pass that you can go in. Check out all this information in here. There's a bunch of different videos, too, that are also available for you. Just to recap everything that's gone on this week and take a look at the opportunities. Take a look at Strategy Now, where I talk about different strategic approaches that you can start taking with these markets, utilizing stock and options, overlay strategies. This is a great opportunity for you to really get a nice look and be able to utilize your capital in the markets more prudently. All right, folks, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care.